Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Christian, and in this video we're going to talk about collection manipulation. We'll focus on how you can add your own auto-increment IDs and add matching icons. Now before I walk you through how to build it step by step, let's go take a look at a demo. So in this Canvas app, I'm going to go ahead and submit an item. So I click over here, I'm going to select a personal category, and I'll go ahead and submit some attachments. Now this is all the paperwork I had to put in for building my shed in the backyard. So the first thing I want to do is actually print a picture of the shed or submit a picture of the shed. Now since it's a JPEG file, the image shows up just fine, but I need to go ahead and put some paperwork as well. So the first thing I want to do is actually put in the specs of the shed, and that's an Excel spreadsheet. And because it's an Excel spreadsheet, I can't see the spreadsheet, but I made it smart enough that, hey, it detects the XLSX file and it puts an Excel icon over here. But I made it dynamic so that when I click on the attach file, next thing I want to do is submit the proposal, which is a Word doc, and now the Word icon shows up over here. And then finally, I need to submit the invoice, which is an which is a PDF file. So I select that, and now the PDF file shows up over here. And now I can go and click on save. It goes and submits it to the data source, which in this case was a SharePoint list. And now it even shows up all the icons in a smart bay right here. Now, if this tickles your fancy, stick around. I'm going to show you how I built it. But first, here's my intro video. So let's take a look at how I built this. To save us some time, I already went and created a Canvas app, and I've connected a SharePoint list to it. So the list is basically a simple list, and here it is. It's got a title and a choice type column. And if you take a look at the list settings, here it is. That's the title. And in the category, I've added only two categories over here. Pretty simple, the personal and the work, which you saw me use in the demo. Now let's go and focus on the Canvas app. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop a very simple gallery, and in the gallery I'll use the vertical one, and I'll go ahead and actually change the layout to the one which has the title, subtitle, and body. So that will help us get started. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on it and select the SharePoint list, and it already helps me start populating the process. So this is good. I'll just leave it here. I'll go ahead and move the 26 over there, make it a little smaller. I already like the font size for the work, but I'm going to reduce it, and I think I'm in good shape over here. I am going to go ahead and add another sub gallery in it, but I'll leave that for now. And what I'm going to do is I'll just change this name. I'll remove the one and I'll leave the gallery as is, and let's go ahead and do a save. So we are off to a great start. Next, I'm going to go ahead and now also add the edit form, because I'm going to make that relationship. Now I have covered this in my other video as well. The video I'm talking about is the SharePoint's links list attachments. I've got a whole video. In fact, I've got that down in the description below, and that walks you through how I've created that edit form and how I'm saving the data over there. So I'm not going to show you how to save it, like the combination of the patch and the submit form. I'm not going to show you that, but I do need to actually reference this edit form for the sake of this attachments and everything. So I'm going to actually show you the edit form over there. So I'm going to come back over there. It is a edit form. Let me just double check. Yep, that's the edit form. And I come back here and I select the SharePoint list. And in the edit forms, I'll just add the, I'll leave those three as is. Go ahead and make that as one. And I think we are in good shape. So I'll just leave that over there as is, okay? In fact, I don't need the title. So I'll remove that for now, just to give me some space. Neat. So we are in good shape. And now I want to focus on the app on start. So I come over here and I'm going to go and click on the app on visible. Actually, it's the app on start. So on the app on start, I'm going to add a few formulas. The main one that I want to look at is the set bar. And this is going to be an important one because that's going to help us with the counting. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. In fact, I'll right click, do a run on start. And then if you've seen how I'm doing my videos, I always go ahead and add this one little label over here somewhere, so I can actually see what that bar is and what is the value of that. So I'm going to keep that as is ready. And I'm going to set that, and we should be able to at least see how the data goes through. Cool? Nice. Cool. Now let's focus our attention a little bit on these attachments, specifically the attachments data card. Because over here, we're going to do a little bit of magic. So when I selected on the attachments data card value, there are two very important formulas that we can focus on, these properties that we can focus on. And that is the on add file and on remove file. So we go take a look at it. that's basically what it is. And just so you're aware of it, you got to click at the data card value, and that's how you see it. All right. It's important that you walk along with me, because I'm going to go ahead and add some lines first. Then I'll later on go ahead and add another line on the top. So walk along with me. Don't just see what it is and then start from the top to the bottom. Walk along with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to now create a collection. And the first collection is to do a clear collect, because I want to take everything from the attachments and dump it into a collection. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually call that as temp attachments call, which is my collection. And I'm going to take that data card value for the attachments, which is data card value 3, and put it into that collection over there. So it's data card value 3 dot attachments, close it, and we are done with that. Now click on the semicolon, shift, enter, and we're to the next line. Now this one is going to be interesting, because what I want to do is I want to say for all the items which are in this attachment, which is in this collection over there, I want to go and put that into another collection, and then I'm going to go ahead and manipulate that collection by adding some more columns over there. So I want to do it for each and every item which is in this temp collection here. So kind of follow along with me, all right? So it's here for all the items in the temp collection. I'm going to say comma, and then I'm going to say collect. Now here is an important thing. Do not add clear collect over here, otherwise none of this will work. And sometimes it's not even your fault, it's the IntelliSense which will say, oh, he's typing collect, let me put a clear collect, and you might just ignore that. Focus on what I'm doing, it is just collect. And then I'm going to start create a new collection name. Now here you may start seeing some errors. The error is because I'm referencing a collection which hasn't already been created yet. So you'll start seeing these red squiggly lines over there. Ignore that from now on, just follow along. The problem with that is though, there is IntelliSense doesn't kick in because it's got that error over there, the squiggly line. So you'll have to be very specific as to what I'm doing. So kind of follow along, right? So attachments collection, this is going to be our attachments collection. I'm going to create a new collection, and in here, I'm going to add some columns. So the first thing I'm going to do is add our ID column, and our ID column has to automatically increment. So how is it going to increment? How does it know which one's 0, which one's 1? Well, again, it's going to use the count rows function. The count rows function is a built-in formula which is directly there inside Power Apps over there. And I'm going to reference the exact collection, which is the attachments collection. I'm going to reference that and keep counting it. And the reason you want to do that is because every time you add an item, and if you count it, that's the next line. That's how the auto incrementing works over there. It's very easy, it's so powerful, and yet it's so, and yet it's all possible with the count rows. So here's how the formula goes, okay? The count rows right there. I'm going to go ahead and now open the brackets, and I'm going to say just count rows, everything in this attachments collection. And see, the IntelliSense didn't pick it up because it still has that squiggly line over there. You just make sure that you've typed everything incorrect. So everything inside the attachments collection plus 1. That's how I want to do it. And then I'm also going to go ahead and get the file name of the attachment, and that is also, it's just going to call as name. So keep that in mind there. And then again, comma, file value. Now file value, if you've actually seen my other videos, the value is how I'm going to go ahead and get, whether it's an image, that's how you get the value. I don't want to use absolute URI. I don't want to use anything like that. Or the links. I want to get the value, because the value is getting actually the URI, but from the connector side. And I've actually focused this on another video of mine, which is the list attachments. Go take a look at it, and I'll walk you through over there. All right, so now this is the last line over there. If I go ahead and put the curly brackets and the 2 over there, you see the error goes away. That's why I kind of told you is that just walk along, because it's telling error right now since it didn't know about this attachments collection. But once we went ahead and finished through it, it actually worked. Now that I've got this collection function over here, it exists, this attached collection, I'm going to go back right to the top, hit the shift, enter, click on the shift, hit enter. And on the top, I'm going to add clear, and I'm going to put in the attachments collection. See, this is what I was talking about, is like kind of focusing along and walking along with me. Now, the easy part is I did this for the on add file. Go ahead and copy the entire thing. Go ahead and copy it. Now let's go to on remove file. Just put it over here. And we are done with the attachments piece over here. That's pretty simple, pretty powerful. We're done over there. What we are going to do now is actually focus on creating another little gallery over here so we can see what is going on in that gallery. Okay, so we come back here. I'm going to take this gallery, which is the vertical one, and we'll add it here. And we'll just make it a little smaller so we can start seeing things. Put that image here. Just want to make that a little smaller again here. And in fact, I'm going to manipulate that a little bit. I'll make it look a lot like this. So let's come back. Let's give that here, move things around. And oops, I just wanted to move that a little bigger. Call that as a temp view, right? And this one is going to be, if I click on it, it's going to be the attachments collection. And this one here is going to be the items. If I come in, put this item, and it'll actually just be the file value, and that takes care of that. Here on the top over here is going to be the ID, because that's the ID that we're calculating. All right, ID, and the one on the right is going to be just the file name, because that's all we did. And it was smart enough, so we went ahead and picked this up. I don't need that. I'll go and delete it. So let me go and save it, and we can do a quick test just to see how the data is coming through. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna just add, rookie mistake again. Get that. I wanna go ahead and select the OK, form, data sources there, item, and I'll put defaults, attachments. There's a lot more to this. I've covered that in the other video. For now, I'm just leaving it as is because I just want this thing to appear. All right, so the first attachment I'm going to do is let's go to that same scenario. I add the picture shows up. Now I go ahead and add a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet doesn't show me it, but hey, the auto incrementing is already working. So check this out, it's already working because it's going ahead and adding it. Remember the count rows function that we added? So we go ahead and keep adding a few more stuff. And there you go, it's working, pretty neat. Count is working. And then we'll go ahead and add another one as a PDF. Let me add the Excel. Oh, actually, let me add the, I think it was the Word doc. And here we go. Now, if I go ahead and start deleting in any order, the numbers do not get affected. So watch this. I remove the one on the bottom. Yep, it's 3. It used to be 4. Now there's 3. What if I remove the one on the top? Well, is that going to mess everything up? It doesn't. It just stays over there. It's pretty slick. It's very powerful. So the auto increment works over there. Now I want to pause over here because some of you may be thinking, so Daniel, why are you going through all this effort to add in the variables, add in the icons, because they're already available over there. Granted, it's available. It is small, it's not very prominent, all right? And also they are only giving in the icons in a very black and white way. I want to make this a little bit more elaborate. So if this works for you, these icons are already there, great, go ahead and, glad you stopped by and watched my video, but I want to show you because if there's scenarios that you wanted, it's available over here, okay? So now we got to continue forward is to manipulate this even a little bit more. So let's click on that image, and now we got to modify the formula over here. So let's go and now modify the image formula, and we're going to put in, if you haven't already guessed, yep, we're going to go ahead and put in some if functions. So now I'm just moving this down a little bit, and I'm going to say if. Now let me check to see, did I add any images? All right, I haven't, so we got to focus on that. What I need to do is I need to have some images available over here because I'm going to, for the Excel, for the Word, for those Microsoft Docs which are not there, images don't automatically show up. I need to add some images. So what I am doing is I'm already going to go ahead and upload an existing set of icons that I have. So let me see can I do them all? Nice. It went ahead and updated all the icons. These are the main ones that I'm focusing on. You could have your own icons, and that's another beauty of this thing, which I explained over here, is that in my scenario, I'm only referencing the icons of the Word docs. You could have your own icons for whatever reason. You've got your own images, and your images might have certain types of customized icons that don't come along. Microsoft doesn't have them. You have your own icons. So this is a great example or a great scenario to leverage your idea over there. So kind of keep that in mind. That key thing is you can add your own icons, but you can also go and upload an icons over here. Now, for those of you who are already one step ahead of me and say, man, Daniel, I could just put this in a SharePoint list. I could put all my links. I could put all the icons over there and just reference that directly in here. That's a great idea. Go ahead and do that. This is more of a beginner level to kind of, plant that seed in you. So once that you know that, hey, this can be done, Daniel's going in and uploading hard copies of the images, I'll just reference them somewhere else and kind of manipulate that in the if function. Go ahead and do that. The idea is with you. Go ahead and practice that. But let me at least show you how this if function works, all right? So in the if function, I'm not going to say that, hey, if your extension, all right, if there is And what I'm trying to say is that if any of these extensions like XLS or DOC or PPT, if these extensions are in your file name, then go ahead and use this icon. But how do I do that? Because all these extensions are, like for example, file name dot, and then there is the file type. There's always, like for example, it is my resume dot docx or presentation dot pptx. It always comes after pptx. So I need an easy way to reference just that extension. And there's such an easy way to do that. We are going to use the in function for that. So check this out, okay? I'm going to say xlx, or I'm also going to say xlsx, right? In this item file name, comma, and then just going to reference the file. Put that comma, and the file name is just called as Excel, so I'm just going to say Excel. Let me just get rid of this one down here because that's causing my IntelliSense to go all crazy. Yep, Excel, that was the file name over there, Excel, and so that was it. I went and used the in. So now it says that, hey, as long as the XLS or XLSX is in the file name, go ahead and use the Excel icon. And that's as easy as that. So if you know, I'm going to move forward with adding the other ones. So I'm going to say, well, if there is PPT or there is PPTX in this item file name, then go ahead and use PowerPoint. PowerPoint. Right. Keep moving forward. If there is DOC or there is DOCX in this item file name, then go ahead and use the Word one. And then finally, I'll also go ahead and add the PDF. If there's PDF in this item file name, then go ahead and use PDF. Otherwise, just use this item's file value. And the file value was the image itself. So it's very important that you complete it this way. So basically, we are just putting some if statement saying that, hey, if the file name extension falls in any of these categories, use their icon that I'm giving you. Otherwise, just use the image itself, which is the file value. And so now you've seen, I've already started getting these icons coming up over here. Isn't that nice? Puts a big smile on my face. And just to test, if I click over here and if I go back and add the image shows up as well. So it just works, and it works so well. Two things we wanted, we already went ahead and accomplished that. Is we went ahead and got the auto incrementing, and we went ahead and got the file extensions over there. But you know what? You could go ahead and do that directly inside the gallery over here as well, because it's the exact same process. So check this out. If I come now over here to my in my gallery, so let me go in my tree view, make sure I'm in the right place. In my gallery, inside the gallery, I can add another gallery because I can go ahead and do the exact same thing, a gallery in the gallery. So that's why, if you know, I set kind of the foundation over here. So let's go now inside the gallery, make sure I've selected that gallery. I'm going to come in and I'm going to use this horizontal gallery. It goes ahead and stays inside, but let me go ahead and manipulate that. I'll first change it to image gallery. And in the image gallery, all I want is gallery. So let me just remove some of the stuff over here. Don't rename it. I want to delete it. Delete. Title. Delete. Let's just focus on the image. Image, you gotta get a little big. Also, the entire gallery can sometimes get too big. So I'm gonna make the gallery a little bit smaller. You know, the reason I do that is so that the gallery doesn't override any of these icons. Because in the future, if you're gonna click on that, it's not gonna work because the gallery is superseding that. And you gotta be very careful in it, all right? So I'm gonna just make sure I've got everything aligned properly. Make it a little bit bigger. Cool. And so in here, it's going to be this item's attachments, and then each attachment item is going to be, guess what? The exact formula. I select that for the image, and I'm going to basically go and copy this formula over here for this image. Come back in. There's going to be a slight difference. You'll actually see an error show up, but I'll explain that in 1 second. I'll come in, go and select on inside here the attachment. We'll expand that, just do a Control-V, paste it. I'm seeing some errors. The reason for the errors is because in the temporary attachments we've created over here, the file name over there was, well, the file name was file name. Over here, it is called as display name. So that's the only thing. I go ahead and click it, display name, And now let me go ahead and finish up the fixing the other ones. Display name, year 2, display name. And again, this item, it's not the file value, it's just called as value. And the moment I do that, it fixes that. And now we can see all of these things over here. See, pretty much nice and easy and so powerful, so effective. Click on that, just make sure nice and big. And there you go. So when we went ahead and now initially just viewed it, when we were adding attachments on the on add file and on remove file, we are showing this gallery over here. But then using the same idea and the same concept, we can go ahead and show it into this gallery, and this data is coming directly from the data source. Wasn't that awesome? That using the combination of in and going ahead and doing the on add file and the on remove file for the attachments, we are now able to see all the attachments which are added directly into a separate temporary gallery. And sure, if it's an image, the image shows up. But if it's a different icon type like the Word or the Excel, then we can actually just show the Word and Excel icons over there. But you can take this a step forward. If you have your own different icons for different scenarios, for different file types, well, now you can go ahead and do this over here. But then we took it a step forward where instead of showing this in the temporary gallery, the existing gallery, which is showing all the items from your data source, you can do the exact same combination over there using the if function and the in. So hopefully this video was helpful. And as always, keep power apping. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube video. Remember, this is all free with fresh content that is updated on a weekly basis. So if you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you and spread the word. If you haven't already, subscribe, click on the bell notification, and let the learning begin.